Let's get some price picks in today, guys. Last night, both 4 powers missed, so we're now 0-4 in the past 4 powers. But remember, guys, these pay 10x, so we really only have to hit 1 in 10 to break even. Of course, the goal is to hit more than that, so I'm going to be making another 2 for tonight. I can't believe Messi actually ended up going over shots on target. You saw he got bumped to 2.0. It was a great pick. But sometimes great picks miss once the game actually starts. So overall, nothing impressive last night. Let's get onto the board for today and try to turn some things around. The first pick in the NBA is going to be on Kawhi Leonard, and I'm not taking his rebounds. It seems like a lot of people are on his over 5.5 rebounds. I'm actually going to be going with one of his unders. Honestly, this guy is just not fit. If he ends up even playing tonight, because he is questionable, he will be on a limits restriction. You could go and check the underdog reports. You're going to see that he only played 25 minutes in Friday's loss, and he's been having these ongoing knee issues. It's likely he'll be on a minutes restriction again if he's even cleared to play Sunday. I want to be on his under PRA. So he didn't clear this in either of the games he played. Remember, he missed one of the games. So he clocked in 20 PRA in one of those games and 24 in the other one. I want to be on his less, and the juice is towards his under here. So if we go and check on the OddsJuice dashboard, Kawhi Leonard under 27.5 PRA, minus 120 fair, or basically 54.55% chance that he goes under his PRA. Now, to be fair, in the first game that he did clock in 35 minutes, yes, he went under, but he also shot terribly. He shot 7 of 17 from the 2-point and 0 from 5 from that 3-point line. That being said, there's no way he gets anywhere near 35 minutes tonight if he does play again. You're going to see that he might be on that minutes restriction again, probably around that 25 to 28 minute mark. And it doesn't really matter because honestly, at this rate, Harden is the one carrying the Clippers right now. So I don't think Kawhi's going to get too much of a role if he does end up playing. We want to be on his under. Moving on, it's a bit of a weird pick, but I'm going with Pat Bev on his under 9.5 points. Now tonight, Giannis is still out. Lillard is also confirmed to be out. So obviously you're going to see Bobby Portis, for example. His props are going to be juice. He's already at 20 points. I believe I locked him in like 17.5 before Lillard was confirmed out. Even his rebounds, assists is all the way at 15.5. So it's Bobby Portis and Middleton that are going to have to carry the team. I don't think Pat Bev is going to start dropping all kinds of buckets because Lillard is out. The usage is going to be heavy for both Middleton and Portis. You can see Middleton is also probable here. He does have that green mark. But I mean, he has to play tonight. The spread's already at -10 with Giannis and Lillard out. And if Middleton's not playing, then it's going to be an absolute blowout. And they have to at least try to win this game tonight. So of course, expect Middleton to play. But let's take a look a bit deeper into Pat Bev's game log here. He did clock in 42 minutes last game and did drop to 11 points. But this was on pretty good shooting. He shot 3 of 5 from the 2-point line. And he shot 1 of 1 from the 3-point line. So that's a pretty good shooting game on such a low amount of shots. You're going to see in the other games where he clocked in 34 minutes and 37 minutes, he only got 5 points. And that's where he shot 1 of 5, 2 of 5 here, and then 0 from 2 for 3, and 1 for 2 from 3. So this is a more realistic Pat Bev game. And even if he shot 4 or 5 from the 2-point line, he still would have got only 9 points. He also got 5 free throws last game, which is way above his average. He knocked down 4 of those. He averages about 1.5 free throws attempted per game, and he got 5. And he still only got 11 points on so many minutes. Now, he could clock in similar minutes tonight, especially with all the injuries the Bucks have, but I'm not too worried about the minutes because even when he gets the minutes, it's kind of hard for him to still go over that 9.5 points prop. And the minutes are going to be priced into the line either way, yet he still has heavy juice towards his under 9.5. You can see on Pinnacle, he's set at -134 juice towards the under. So Pat Bev under 9.5 points is going to be the second prop. I'm going to go over to the MLB and take one of the best hits, runs, RBI stacks you could possibly go tonight, and that's going to be on the Phillies. The first player I'm going with is Bohm on his over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, of course. And I'm going to be pairing this up with Bryce Harper on his over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Again, same exact concept as I say in every single video. Last night, neither of the stacks hit because they both went under. So that's kind of the sense, is that these guys are either going to go over together or under together. Of course, we're leaning towards the overs. If we go and check Bohm's juice, he's set at -130 on DraftKings towards the over. And Bryce Harper also has juice towards the over here at -125. Most importantly, the daily lineups, if we go over to Philly, they are expected to be batting 3rd and 4th. So they are close to each other in the batting order, which means it's more likely that they run each other in, or that they're both on base to get ran in by some of the later batters. Phillies is a very strong team with lots of runs, hits, and RBIs, so let's hope that they run through their players tonight. This is going to be the first slip. Let's get straight into the second one. The second slip, I'm going to get a similar concept that I do very often, and I'm going with, once again, on his under 9.5 points. Did not work out for us last time. He did get the 13 points. I paired him up with Jaden McDaniels on the over points, but tonight I'm actually going with Karl Anthony Towns on his over 17.5 points. Now, Towns has been playing like pretty limited minutes, only like 25 a game, but he was in foul trouble last game, only clocked 24 minutes and still got his 18 points. Now, as I say, every time I bring up Naz Reid, he's that 6-man. His minutes bleed into the starters' minutes. So if the starters are getting more minutes, Naz Reid is going to be playing less minutes, And honestly, Naz Reid has been averaging a bit less minutes, around that 17 mark in the past few games. On top of that, his line is too high at 9.5. The under is definitely to play, because if you go over to a couple sports books, you're going to see Naz Reid on Bet365 juice towards the under at minus 130. On DraftKings, juice towards the under right here at minus 125. And on Pinnacle, he's set at 8.5, which means you're getting a point extra on the sharpest sportsbook in the world. And this will probably get bumped to 9.5 with juice towards the under. That's kind of how it works when there's too much juice in one direction. And if we check the opposite on Towns, he has juice towards the over on that 17.5, as you see on Pinnacle, all the way up at minus 131. You also see that on DraftKings at minus 125. And then on Bet365, they kind of have him even, but you see that we're getting good value, at least in compared to DraftKings and Pinnacle. And once again, to end off this format, we're going to be going over to MLB and taking two guys from the Chicago Cubs. The first one's going to be Talkman here on his over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And of course, we're pairing this up with another player, Bush, on his over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. In the expected lineup for the Cubs, you could see that Talkman is at that second batting position with Bush at that fourth. So again, 1 to 3 batters in between is great to see. But on top of that, the juice is very important. So you see Bush here at minus 125 towards the over. And then you also see Talkman here with minus 130 towards his over 1.5. So these are going to be 2 more 4 powers for you guys. Let's try to get this one to cash.